What's going on, Papa Fam? Welcome back to day 3 of the 5-day NFT drop challenge. Let me know where you're watching from right now. We got the energy up in this place. The submissions for this challenge have blown my damn mind. You guys are incredible. Over 3,000 people have signed up to the challenge. The competition is fierce. Let me know where you're watching from. Yesterday's energy was insane. So let's see if we can spike that, beat that today, because we're going to be introducing and building your first ever NFT drop collection and connecting it to a Sanity CMS backend, all powered with Next.js. What? In one video? Get ready, guys. Welcome to day 3 of the NFT drop React.js challenge. Say what's up. We got Belgium, Sydney, Austria, Pakistan, Romania, Greece. Hey, this bit always gets me hyped up. Botswana. Yo, what's up? Poland in the house. UK, USA. Mario says, my first time in a live session. Only for a while, but I'm so glad to be here with you. What's up, dude? Good to see you in the house. This is what I'm saying, guys. The Papa Fam energy every time delivers. We got India representing. That's on Dubai. Hey, we got Dubai, Switzerland, Yemen, South Africa. What's up? My boy's in Jamaica right now. Guys, this is awesome, man. Marius goes, I love the new hairstyle. Appreciate it, dude. Right, without further ado, let's jump into day 3 of the NFT drop challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to jump straight into this. You guys know about our little guy over here, gets hyped up. That's the Papa Fam energy, literally in a GIF, right? GIF, I don't know what it is. Germany, Iran, what's up? All right, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this, guys. Are you ready for day 3? Let me know. You've already made so much noise in the comments down below. Amazing stuff. If you're watching the replay of this, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not already, and just drop a comment, right? Drop a comment. Let me know where you're at. Remember, guys, all of this is a challenge, right? And I'm giving away so many goodies, so many freebies. So the number one thing that I want you to make sure you do, so that way you get a chance of winning all this good stuff, is sign up to the grand finale. That's first link in the description. Let me know right now in the chat if you signed up. Let me know. We're going to give away a free JavaScript ebook, a free Next.js ebook, Clouch tokens, which is literally free cryptocurrency, and I'm gonna give away a ultimate developer roadmap for Web 2 and Web 3 developers. So this is literally on a plate, handed out to you. You just have to sign up to that first link in the description. Let me know. Jay's dropped the link out. First link if you can't find it. Awesome stuff. I see so many people right now dropping it in. This is sick. This is sick. Check this out. Right, join our Papa Fam Discord server. It's popping off in there. Literally 8,000 people in there. We got the Facebook group popping off, people helping each other out, loads of stuff going on, right? This is the positive energy that we want in the Papa Fam. Remember, share, pull your phones out. I've been seeing all of you guys, by the way, on Instagram. You literally are being amazing, right? Everyone's literally pulling their phones out, snapping me and using the hashtag Papa Challenge and tagging me so that way I can see all your beautiful faces. We even had a guy laughing yesterday, cracked me up on Instagram. So really go and check that one out. Jay, mod the chat. Thank you, dude. Right, we're going to be learning all of this today, okay? So we got React. You're going to learn Typescript. You're going to learn Next.js, Tailwind, thirdweb, and Sanity. So literally we're going to cover quite a bit today. So I'm going to get into a focus mode right now. I'm going to put the music down a little bit so that way we can go ahead and get into a bit of a serious one, right? So TypeScript is something that I want everyone to learn because it's a massively valuable skill that you can layer on top of JavaScript, Next.js, all this other stuff. You can make beautiful apps with Tailwind, and then we're going to be powering the Web 3 side with thirdweb, and we're going to be powering our backend with a CMS. So lots of learning in today's session. I'm going to give you a quick demo of what we're going to actually be building in today's session. So yesterday we actually had this, but what we're actually going to have today is we're going to be able to have the ability to go back. Okay, so if I go ahead and see the home page, a lot of you actually made beautiful home pages, so well done. You can see right here we've got a few collections, right? Well, this is actually not just magically being formed. We're actually going ahead and pulling this from a Sanity CMS backend. So as you can see here, we've got an actual structured content backend, right? This is actually, it's an amazing platform. We're going to dive into how you can use this and how everything's going to work out. But you can see 4 collections. These are the ones that we're going to be seeing on our app. So you can pretty much see these over here, right? These 4 are getting pulled through. I'm going to show you how you can go ahead, use the Sanity CMS backend, query it using their Grok language. You can go ahead and make a fetch statement to pull this information through, and we're going to be setting up our first ever NFT drop. Okay, so all of that is happening in today's video. Alex Thomas says, hey, what's up, Sonny? Hope you're good. First stream I'm catching. Love your videos. Thank you for the positivity, brother. It's awesome to have you guys here. Just smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying what you're seeing, right? Hey, we got donations coming in. Mahesh, what's up? Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that, dude. So the backend powering all of today's build is our amazing guys over at Sanity. So if you don't know, or you're just trying to catch up with this, Sanity has amazing features that power it up, right? And this is why I've chosen to use it for this challenge. Friendly UI UX, really amazing real-time collaborative editing features. So I'm going to show you today, if you have two different Sanity windows open and two people are editing, it's literally like a Google Doc. It's going to show you the live updates and everything like that. So it's really, really cool for teams to work with. Structured content. Now, what does that even mean? You might have heard of structured content when you're talking about SQL, NoSQL, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how simple these guys have actually made it over there, right? So if we go back to our Sanity CMS, right, check this out. Imagine if I had a creator, right? So I have Sunny Sanger, he's a creator, he's in my database. You can see him, we've got this picture of this guy over here. Now, what if I want him to be linked to a Papa Fam collection, like an NFT drop? Well, I don't have to copy his details. I can literally select from a drop down and link his credentials. Then we can kind of connect our database in a structured way. So it's very easy to achieve this. You're going to know how to do all of this by the end of today. Okay, so I'm not joking. My goal is to get you guys learning really fast. Loads of API support. You can start simple, get really advanced if you want to. Then we're going to learn about their Grok query language. So most of you probably have heard about something called GraphQL. It's very similar, but it's actually really clean compared to GraphQL. So I'm going to show you how to use it. And if you ever get stuck, check out their awesome Slack community. It's just like ours. It's all about supporting, all about helping you get past the issues that you encounter. So we're going to be using this. This is a demo that I just gave off now. So this is literally called the Sanity Studio. So I'm going to show you how you can run this on your local machine and also deploy this up into the cloud. So that way anybody can actually go ahead and edit it, provided you can log into the Sanity Studio. Remember, when you're doing the setup today, very important, you use sanity.io/Sunny. The link is in the description. Don't forget to use this. The reason being, guys, if you use this special magic link, it will take you to this beautiful page. And what you can do is when we actually come to setting up Sanity, you're going to need to run this command, sanity init coupon Sunny 2022, right? So that's a very important step. That's what gives you the extra double plan. If you don't do this and you skip this, you don't get double quota. So I'm doing it literally as a favor to you guys. You guys can get a free quota, a double quota. So make sure you take advantage of that while you can, okay? So you're gonna get literally double of all their sort of, services. And to power up our NFT project, we're gonna be using thirdweb, okay? I'm giving you guys a reminder, this is very important. Louise says, how do I use it if I have an existing account? Remember, Louise, when you come to initialize it, you just use the coupon at that point for the new project. So that's how you do it, okay? So we're going to be using thirdweb to power up our NFT drop collection. As you can see here, it supports batch uploading. Now, what is batch uploading? Now, imagine when you have an NFT collection, right? You might know that there's a couple of pictures or NFTs in each project. There's actually like thousands sometimes. There's like so many. There could be 10,000 NFTs in a project. Now, I don't want to go through every single one and do it one by one, right? I want to have the ability to basically have an Excel sheet, for example, all my assets, and then just give it to thirdweb and they do it for me. So they've actually made that really easy. And I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do it today. Royalty splits are pretty cool. Pretty much imagine if you've got two developers made the NFT collection together. Imagine me and Jay are working on this. Every time somebody actually goes and buys and sells or transfers the NFTs, we can split royalties between mine and Jay's wallet. It's really awesome, and it's going to be something which a lot of developers are looking forward to as a feature. You might have heard of this if you've dabbled inside of NFTs before, but delayed reveal. Now I'm going to shout this one out because this isn't actually on every single platform, right? Any Web3 platform, they don't just offer this. This is something which thirdweb does really damn well. It's basically a case of when you mint your NFT, they actually can give you the option to have a placeholder image. Imagine like a spinner, which says it could be like an alien kind of being born, right? And then after like a day, everyone's aliens gets hatched, right? It's so cool. You can create such a hype behind it. So really, really amazing stuff that we can go ahead and do. You've got allow lists, you've got restricted transfers and multimedia NFT support. So these are all amazing features. Allow lists whitelists are basically, you can go ahead and set up whitelists. If you're in the NFT space, you'll know what that is. That basically means people can mint early, or you can have like a subset of users which are allowed to mint early. Restricted transfers. Now, what the hell does that mean? Basically, imagine if I have an NFT which represents a course entry pass. I don't want people to kind of be sending it around. So you can basically toggle an option which says you're not allowed to send my NFT elsewhere, right? Or you can have an NFT which represents a piece of art, for example, which you don't mind if people sell and you collect royalties from. This is what you can do very simply, right? So you can do that with all through thirdweb. So literally it's taken so much of this headache away from you. So next time somebody says, yeah, create your own smart contract, just use a platform if you're going to be doing something, which you should be focusing on the actual NFT utility and that kind of stuff. Now, they also support pictures, JPEGs, all that good stuff. So really, really fun stuff, right? In comparison to any other market Web3 developer kit out there or platform, they have way more chains supporting. They've got a lot more features, like I said, the NFT, the reveal, the delayed reveal, all that kind of cool stuff. And you can list it on any of the marketplaces, right? Or you can do a no-code solution. They give you an embed bit of code where you can just literally copy it and put it inside your app, and it works. Right, so it's really, really cool. And as I mentioned yesterday, it's owned by you. So when you deploy these contracts, very important, a Web3 principle here, it's actually owned by you, not by the marketplace itself. So that's something which thirdweb prides themselves on. Join. The link is in the description. Make sure you use it. That way we can go ahead and give you the points if you sign up with our link. And if you want to learn anything more about this kind of full stack Web 2, Web 3 development, stay tuned. On day 5, I'm going to be opening the doors to our exclusive Zero to Full Stack Hero course. And I've got a massive announcement. You do not want to miss that one, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump in, our challenge sponsor, supporting this entire thing, making the entire thing possible, our boys over at Clouch. Clouch is an amazing Twitter-like feed. It's like a Web3 Twitter, right? You basically got so much, like you've got social feeds, you've got the ability to actually set up shops, which you guys are absolutely killing it, right? So I want to show you guys a couple of these right now. If we go over to the shops, you can see, look, you guys are absolutely smashing it. These shops were not here before, right? A lot of these. You guys have got all these, like, I can see marketers, I can see people setting up their own companies. It's incredible what you guys are doing over there. And yeah, make sure you go ahead and use the link in the description. Sign up for 10 times the free cryptocurrency. You're literally getting free money and you're getting bonus points for registering a shop. So the first link in the description, which says links.papareact.com/Clouch, is the one you want to go to. That's a free cryptocurrency. Awesome, awesome stuff, okay? Now, who's ready to add Sanity CMS to their app today? It's going to be a lot of fun. Comment yes if you're ready right now. It's going to be, Miss Nobody says, another day and I'm back. That's what I'm talking about. It's time to focus, guys. Before we get started, I want to basically give you a reminder. As I said, we're going to add in Sanity CMS. We're going to add in a thirdweb NFT drop collection, and we're actually going to server-side render it. So if you don't know what server-side rendering is, it's an awesome concept inside of Next.js, which actually allows us to more efficiently render a page. Now, I'm not going to go over all the different types of rendering techniques. We cover that in the course. We cover that in different videos. But basically, I'm going to show you how to implement it. And it's damn cool. And it works better for SEO purposes and all that kind of good stuff. So you're going to learn all of this today, right? But first, we're going to review the best homework submissions, give those amazing individuals bonus points. We'll add the Sanity CMS backend, implement that server-side rendering, and we'll prep the NFT drop collection so that we can mint tomorrow. So a lot of fun stuff happening, guys. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Remember, this is a challenge. You get points for posting on social media, tagging me, helping people out with their homework, and share a screenshot of it on the Facebook group. Help someone or invite somebody. And if you submit your homework, then you're going to go ahead and get your bonus points, right? So this is really good stuff. 10 bonus points if you set up a shop on Clouch. So many people are getting those 10 bonus points. So if you want to get ahead of the challenge, make sure you set up a shop in Clouch. You literally just got to hit that link in the description and it will take you to setting up a shop, right? So make sure you go ahead and do that. You'll get loads of prizes in this challenge. To get them, make sure you sign up for the final day. It's the first link in the description. You have to sign up, otherwise I can't track who's there or who's not. Okay, sign up to our Facebook group, all that good stuff. Now, yesterday's homework was pretty cool. You had to set up your MetaMask authentication, right? You had to go ahead and design a front end, and you guys really did blow me away with it, right? You actually me and Jay were sitting there reviewing them, and I couldn't believe some of this stuff, right? I always get amazed when I see your submissions. I'm gonna go shout them out, right? You're gonna get 5 bonus points if I shout you out at this point. We have over 500. Like, it's nuts, right? Even the fact that there's not 500 people watching the actual live YouTube stream right now, but when I put this video out afterwards, it seems that thousands of people are watching it, because afterwards the submissions just keep coming in, right? Me and Jay are non-stop checking this stuff out. It's literally mind-blowing as to what we are doing here, right? So let's go through some of the homework submissions. Check this out. Boom. NFT Drop Challenge homework day 2. We have Adele, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but we've got Emmanuel. Well, that's what I'm going to go with. Emmanuel, Luca. Hey, I recognize Luca again. This is awesome stuff. Look at this. Look at the designs here. Really, really cool stuff, right? Vincenzo. We've got Anuj. I like these. Like you changed up the art. You've gone with different theming. Nice. We've got Charles Crook. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Sweden. Absolutely killing it. Really clean. There's something about yours. Like, look at these two. They're just a fresh pop of color, right? And I don't know if it's just changing the gradient colors. It just makes such a difference sometimes, right? Amazing stuff. We've got the bass guy. Good to see him in the house. Mr. Nobody, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you, man. This is awesome stuff. Monsef actually changed his UI, so really awesome stuff. Now I'm excited to show these ones. Check this out, right? We've got a submission by Botond. Look at this one, right? The first one over here. Hey, this one's like a cyberpunk theme over here, right? This guy deserved it. He absolutely smashed it. He's even got Spotify playing over there. I'm not going to play it because I'm going to get copyrighted, but amazing stuff. Actually added, and he's got a glowing little UI over there, right? So awesome, awesome stuff. But this is by far my favorite one. This one's sick. Check this out, guys. And let me know what your thoughts are, right? In the comment section, let me know what you think of Tony's submission. Oh, the greatest NFTs. Boom. Look how clean this is. This reminds me of an actual NFT drop page. No joke, dude. So you should be very proud of the UI here, right? This is really cool, right? If I click mint NFT, we're going to go ahead and see. Oh, it's actually to mint it. You can start here. Oh, this is amazing, dude. This is honestly, look, hey, made by, oh, it's Butters. There we go. That's his real name. Oh, it's good to see you here, dude. Amazing submission. Absolutely smashed it. Then we've got Bao, right? And go ahead and check this out. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong, right? This one's pretty cool, right? It's got like a minimalistic kind of vibe to it. I liked it because it just caught my attention, right? So really clean UI. These kind of projects, you know, they have these different looks and everything. So there he is. Tony's in the chat. Hey, awesome stuff. Somebody said Universe Cost, it's like a Blade Runner theme. So I'm sure he's talking about Botond. Amazing stuff. Tanishk, let's check yours out, dude. This is so clean. It's like an Apple website. You know, the most advanced NFT drop. Check it out. Okay, boom, go down. We've got our collection over here. And then we've got this. So the reason why I chose this one was because it had a flow to it. Now, a little bit of feedback on this one. Padding, guys. Watch the padding. Don't ever let it touch like this, right? That's too close to the edges. And here, you see the text? I would have probably gone with white cards with a slight shadow underneath, and do not use this color on this background. Okay, so that's my kind of feedback there. It's just constructive, amazing stuff, but constructive feedback there. And again, padding, okay? You want to kind of centralize this, but you're going to learn about that today, right? I'm going to give you a bit of advice on that today. But otherwise, effort is there, so absolutely killed it. You get the bonus points, dude. Tommy Lola, I've seen you in the challenge. This one caught me out. This one's sick, man. Look at this. We got these kangaroos, these like Fight Club kangaroos. I love this, even the concept of it. And you can go ahead and see Kangoo Punch, a collection of kangaroos ready to dominate the metaverse. And he made it a GIF, I'm assuming here. And you can actually go ahead and see it clicking through. So that's just cool, man. Honestly, I love the sort of, you know, the effect, the kind of the push that you guys are going for here. Amazing, amazing work, guys. So all of you absolutely crushed it. You'd be happy with yourselves. That's why the Pop-Fan community is the best in the world, right? You guys all helped each other out. I saw it. There was loads of help going on. People were like, I can't install my dependencies, and straight away got an answer. People were like, I don't know how to do this, and bam, straight away an answer. Really amazing, amazing stuff, guys. So before we start the coding portion, I'm stressing this because you're not going to get the free stuff unless you sign up. Day 5, first link in the description is the grand finale. It's where I teach you all I know, everything. I'm not going to hold back in any of that session. You're going to get free ebooks, free Next.js ebook. Don't come crying to me about I didn't get a book if you didn't sign up. I'm not giving the book out unless you sign up. So you have to sign up to that, and you can go ahead and get all the other benefits associated with it. So let's go ahead and jump into the coding today. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm focused. I've had a gym session. This is like my focus is dead straight. So we're going to jump straight into the coding right now. And basically yesterday we left off from this chapter over here. So this is what we had yesterday, okay? So we're going to have to chunk it out today and do things in a pretty kind of constructive way, right? The first thing I want to do is go back to my code, right? So the first thing I want to do is open up my code. And if you haven't seen any of this, then you should do yesterday. Otherwise, you're pretty behind. But yeah, Aman says every submission was mind-blowing. It really was, honestly, dude. It really, really was. All right, so at this point, what we're going to first do, I think, is we're going to go ahead and set up your Sanity CMS backend, okay? So first thing you want to do is go ahead and head over to Sanity CMS, right? So you're not actually heading over to any Sanity CMS link. I want you to go over to sanity.io/sunny, right? So sanity.io/sunny. I'm going to change the music to my coding vibes. All right, so here we go. Let's go. Boom. If you want to get this playlist, sign up to day 5. I'm giving it away. All right, so sanity.io/sunny. Okay, you want to go to this URL and then you should see this page pop up. It should say, welcome, Popifam member. We got this page designed, right? What you're going to need to do is install the Sanity CLI tools, okay? So this is actually a global install, which means you're probably going to have to write sudo in front of it, okay? So where you have this command here, you're probably going to have to write sudo, and then it prompts you to enter your password, and then you can use it, right? But I've already done this step, so I'm not going to do it. This one is the one that you need to do, okay? So pay attention now, okay? What we're going to actually do is we're going to go over to our app, right? So we're going to go over to the app. We're going to do Command J. We're going to pull up our terminal. And inside here, what I'm actually going to do is after I've ran that global install, we're going to go ahead and type in Sanity. And I'm going to go ahead and say login. Okay. And what this will do is it will prompt me with a login type. Right. So at this point, I need to choose my login. So I'm going to click Google and then it's going to prompt you to log in. Now I've already logged in with an account. Okay. So I'm not going to do that step again, but all you would have to do at this point is literally go ahead, log in, and then it will go ahead and give you a confirmation on your terminal down here, okay? So we've already done that. So I'm actually going to cancel this one. So we've actually done that step, but you're going to have to do it. The next thing you're going to do, rather than just doing sanity init, you're going to have to do this command here, right? This is what gives you that extra double quota, okay? Oh, nice. Achidna just said, hey, Sunny, thanks, man. I just signed up my first job converting a site from Bootstrap to Tailwind. Sick, dude. That is awesome. Jay, screenshot that. Amazing stuff. Barista says, watching from Uganda. That's what I'm talking about, dude. International. So copy this command with the coupon, and you want to go down here and basically go ahead and paste it in, right? Now, pay attention, guys. You're going to see you're setting up a new project. We'll make sure you have an account with Sanity, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll install open source JS content that connects, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff's pretty cool. You can give it a read yourself, right? At this point, I need to go ahead and click on create a new project. Okay, so I'm going to go up with the arrow keys, hit enter. I need to give my project a name. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to go ahead and see NFT Drop -challenge. Okay, hit enter. And at this point, it will go ahead and create my project for me. Now, as you can see here, we've got, it says, what do you want to name your data set basically? Now here, you don't actually have to do anything. You can just leave it as the default. So you can just click enter on the keypad, right? Now wait for it. It'll go create your data set, because remember, this is a backend. Now here it says project output path. Now here, what I would recommend you do is you give it a suitable name, right? So you make it a bit easier to understand. So at this point, I would most likely either type in Sanity or type in Studio, right? So in this case, because I'm going to call it Sanity, right? So project output path, we're going to say Sanity. And then you get these project templates. So at this point, I've got 4 to choose from. I've got movie project, e-commerce, blog, or clean project with no predefined schemas. Now here, I'm going to use the blog example to help us understand how Sanity CMS works. So I'm going to go to blog. I'm going to hit enter, right? These are really good templates, guys. It actually makes life a lot easier. You can go ahead and play with it. You can see, you can learn for yourself as you do it. Right? So this will go ahead and install all the dependencies after that we're going to need. And it's also going ahead and create us a project on Sanity. So we're ready to jump into it at any point. Okay. So let's go ahead and let this do its thing. Right? Now I'm going to go ahead, and while that's happening, I'm going to go to Sanity. I'm going to log in to my account, and we should be able to see that app being built. Okay. So wait for it. Let's go ahead and check this out. It says resolving dependencies. It's still doing its thing. And let's see if we can beat it over here. So sanity.io/manage once you've logged in. And this should show my projects inside of sanity.io. All right, so a little bit of a wait here. There we go. NFT drop challenge. I'm going to click this and then I'm going to see the next screen. Okay, so now this is basically what you should be at, right? So you should see this over here. So we've got the plan, we've got active, and then we've got so forth, right? Everything that we needed. Now over here, okay, we're still installing dependencies. That's fine. Let it do its thing. Right, so over here, we're going to go ahead and prepare a couple of things, okay? So we're going to go over to our API. Now, in order for us to kind of mess around and connect to our Sanity backend, we're going to need something called a token, okay? So what you're going to do is click Add API Token. And here, you're going to go ahead and basically give this token a name, okay? So you can see employee import, website preview, PDF generator, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it my challenge app, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and give it the editor rights. This is because I want to be able to read and write access to all the data sets. And I want to basically, I don't want to change any project settings with this key. So editor is enough. Now, when I click save, I'm going to go ahead and hide my screen. Now, the reason why I'm going to hide my screen is because it's going to show me a key. What you need to do, guys, and I'm going to, before I click save, I'm going to go ahead and prepare something now, okay? I'm going to go ahead and hide my terminal and let this install. I'm going to open up my sort of, files over here, and I'm actually going to create something called an environment file. So .env.local. And what we're doing here is we're storing our sensitive credentials, okay? So at this point, what I want to do is I want to create a credential which has the key Sanity API token. And what I want to do is I want to paste in the key here. So your key that you're going to get in the next bit, your key will go here, okay? So you want to paste the key that you get back and you want to put it here. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click on save. So I'm going to hide my screen, and as you and then what you'll see is right now I've just clicked save and it says copy the token below. This is your only chance to do so. So I'm basically going to copy that out, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back to this page so that way you guys can't see that key. Okay, so now I've already gone ahead and come back to the page, and you should see the key has been created for me. It did just a second ago show the key. So what I'm going to now do is go over here to my Sanity API token, and I'm basically going to go ahead and paste it in here. So I'm going to hide this when I do this, but I'm pasting in the key, the token, right? So now I've got that long squiggly bunch of strings inside of there, okay? So I'm going to close my environment local file. So what I've done there is I pasted it in, right? So now I've got my special key inside of that file, okay? So I hope that made sense. Just take your time with it. Don't rush. It will be fine. Okay, so now we have our token ready. Let's check on our install to see how we're doing. I'm going to pull this up. Awesome stuff. We are now done. So it says success. Now what? So you can basically now go into that project folder. So I'm going to show you how the directory looks like. We have our Next.js app, but now we have this new folder called Sanity. So by clicking Sanity, this is actually representing the studio. Now, one thing you have to do to make sure your Git doesn't go crazy, you can see it says 10,000 changes, is you're gonna need to go into your git ignore file, and you're gonna have to change something here, yeah? So where you've got basically git ignore is where you don't wanna commit things. We don't wanna commit dependency files. It's a bad practice. You really don't wanna do that. So here what I'm gonna do is type in /sanity, sanity, /node modules and hit save. Okay, now at this point, what we've told it to do is basically go ahead and ignore the files that are inside of the Sanity directory. So if you don't see an update here, click on this and go to the update refresh, right? Now you should see a much lesser number. That's what you basically want to do to make sure you don't commit anything that you shouldn't be committing when you push this to your GitHub repo, okay? So now heading back over to our code, now's kind of the fun part. Now's where we can kind of start messing around with something, okay? So let's check this out. So what we're now going to do is create a file called sanity.js, right? And then I'm going to tell you what you need to install and so forth. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and open up my files. I'm going to close everything here. So we're going to go over to the package.json level. I'm going to create a new file called sanity.js. And let's think of this as our helper file, okay? This is, by the way, this snippet of code that I'm about to put in here next is available on the website. Okay, it's available on the website and you can go ahead and find it. I'm not going to show you exactly where to find it, but it's literally there on the documentation. You guys can feel free to find it, and you know, if you don't believe me, okay? So at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste in a bunch of code, right? So this is actually just a config, and we're going to need 2 dependencies at this point. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the dependencies that I need. So you can see on my right hand terminal over here, I'm going to do Command K to hide this, and I'm going to go ahead and say yarn add, and I'm going to go ahead and pop in because I am using yarn. Yep. Yarn add, and I'm going to say next sanity, and I'm also going to install something called sanity image URL. Okay, so this is going to help me basically pull the images from sanity, and this is going to help me use Next.js with sanity. So I hit enter now. This is going to install the packages into my app. Okay, so while this is happening, what we're actually going to do is prepare ourselves over here, right? So I'm going to import the things I need from these two dependencies, and again, as I mentioned, all of this stuff is available on their website. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to use something called a config, right? So the config is basically going to be our connection to Sanity. So this is the config that you're going to need. And as you can see, this is all comments, right? So if we were to get rid of this, you can read it over if you want. But to keep it simple, I'm going to show you just this. So you can actually pause it, read it if you want. But I'm going to show you the slimline version, okay? Now, as you can see, guys, we've got these dataset, project ID, API version, and use CDN. Okay, so we've got this kind of stuff that we're going to need to go ahead and give values for. Now, what the hell is this, right? Well, remember that environment variable that I set over here, right? Environment.local. The way we can tap into those variables is we say process.environment.whatever the key was. Now, we didn't add these two keys, right? We added in the sanity key. We need to add these keys in, and basically, whenever it says next public, what we're essentially doing is we're revealing whatever that key value is to the browser. I'm not going to get too far into how server-side rendering works in this challenge, but if you want to know more, you can watch some of my Next.js builds or join Zero to Full Stack here and where we explain it all, okay? But basically what this means is next public says, this is a key which I don't mind exposing to the rest of the world, okay? So I obviously don't want to expose my Sanity API key, but these two I don't mind exposing, okay? So I'm going to go over, and first thing I need is a project ID. So where do I get my project ID from? I go over to my dashboard over here in Sanity, and I copy the project ID, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, hide my screen, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to see if I can get something pretty good going here so I can actually hide something for you and still be able to show the code. So I'm going to wonder if I can do this. No. How do I do it? I've got a nice little extension which actually hides the next line. There we go. Is it hide stream? Hide stream. So there it is, hide stream. I'm going to try this out. Hide stream. Okay, did it work? No, it didn't work. Okay, never mind. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to get rid of my key for a second in Sanity API token, so that way you guys can't see it. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So at this point, I've got my environment file, and I'm going to go ahead and copy these two keys in there, right? So I need my project ID, and I need one more, which is my Sanity data set, right? And if I don't give it next_public, this works on the server-side render, but it doesn't work on the browser. Now, if that doesn't make sense, don't stress. But basically, we need to say next public to expose it to the browser, right? And we're going to be using this stuff in the browser, so it's going to make sense for that, right? Now, the project ID, I told you I got it from here, so I'm going to copy it, go back here, bam, we put it in. And the Sanity data set, right? So inside of the data set, in this case, I'm just going to push straight to production. But what we can actually do here is we can have several data sets. You could have a production data set, you could have a testing data set, you can do pretty cool stuff. Imagine you had a CI pipeline. You can do really nice things with this, right? And then we need to put in our Sanity API token back. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my Sanity token back so that way we don't mess things up, and I'm going to reveal what's on my screen afterwards, right? So I've gone ahead, put my key back in. Now I'm putting it back over here, right? So at this point, what we need to do is save the file, and I need to basically tell Next.js that I've updated my environment file variables. So what I need to do is stop my app from running, and I need to do it again. So I need to say yarn run dev. So I'm restarting my app. And the reason being is because you can see here, guys, it would actually say loaded environment from your local environment files. So you have to do that if you make a change to your environment files. I hope the pace that we're going at is good. I think this is really, really nice so far. Okay, smash the thumbs up button if you're learning stuff here, right? If you're learning anything new here and you think this is a value, smash the thumbs up. It helps other people find this video so that way they can learn as well, okay? So once we've got this configuration, this is what we basically need, right? So now what I need to do is basically create an instance of a client that we can basically use to connect to Sanity. So the way we do that is we basically go ahead and add this line in. So we say export const sanity client, equals create client, right? So we're using it from the Next Sanity dependency, and we pass in this configuration. Imagine this is kind of like our key, which allows us to go ahead and connect to Sanity's backend, right? So now we've got the configuration. It knows which project it needs to go ahead and get, and we can actually get things moving from here. Now I'm going to need one more helper function, okay? Now the reason for this is because when we have images in Sanity, for example, if I have something that looks like this, where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, so imagine if I've got my images like this, right? When I want to pull this from Sanity, the helper function makes the image pulling process really easy, okay? So this one helper function that I'm about to put in here is going to basically save us a bunch of time, okay? So the one that we're going to need is essentially this one here, and it has got some documentation here, so you can feel free to head over to here if you want to read more about it. I recommend you do, okay? So we're making a little function here which takes a source and it uses this helper function, takes the config and basically goes ahead and gets, and we pass it and we basically derive an image from it, okay? So this will basically return us a URL, right? And then we can basically pass that to an image, and then bam, we have a nice, beautiful image that is pulled from Sanity, okay? And if you haven't already, guys, remember, sign up to day 5, right? Day 5 to get all those free prizes. Just want to throw that in there, right? So Sanity.js, now we've got our Sanity stuff pretty much connected. So how do we now pull information in? And actually, before we do any of that, how do I get my Sanity Studio up and running, right? So remember what I'm showing you here. You're probably wondering, this guy didn't even explain how you pull this up. Well, to open up the Sanity Studio where we can actually, you know, change the data, we can do the following, right? We can pull up our terminal. I can go over here and I can basically now CD into that Sanity folder. Remember, there was a Sanity folder, so we have to make sure we go into it. So CD into that, and then you want to basically say Sanity start, okay? And what this is going to do, guys, is it's going to spin up your Sanity server, right? So give this a second to load, and what you're going to see is I'm using this server address. So what I need to do is I need to cancel the one that I'm running at the moment. So that's fine. We can actually go ahead and cancel that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close my server over here. There we go. And I've actually deployed the other one so I can use it if we need to. So I'm now going to do it again, Sanity start. And it should have that port now free, okay? So what this will do is it will launch up our Sanity Studio inside of our, you know, local machine. This is really cool for when you're developing, when you want to go ahead and add, update information to your Sanity CMS backend. But what if I want to deploy this kind of, you know, this really nice Sanity Studio up to the cloud? So that way anyone can go ahead, log in with their, you know, team account and basically go ahead and change the information. For example, your product owner or somebody in your team. Well, they made it super easy, and I'm going to show you just how to do it, right? So we've done it. We've gone ahead and committed it. We've ran the command. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. So if I go to localhost 33333, you will now see I get a login screen. So I need to use the same login provider. So in this case, I'm going to log in with my Google account. I'm going to go ahead, sign in. So I've signed in with, oh no, I didn't sign in with this account. It was the wrong account. It was the other one, I think. I believe it was the other one. Oh, maybe we are in this one. Okay, so I did create with this one. Yeah, I get confused at times. If it says we're not allowed access, then you know it was the wrong one. But yep, there you go, log out. So you see, if you try and log in with the wrong account, it's not going to work. I'm actually going to log in with our Pop React team account. There we go. And now you can connect to Sanity.io. It knows who we are. So you see how we grant access based on only the users which are allowed. So at this point, we've got 3 of these things. Remember, we picked a starting template. Okay, so at this point, you can see post, author, and you can see category. Okay, so if I open up a post, if I open up author and I open up a category, you can't see anything over here right now. Okay, so basically, if I go to create an author and I go to create a new document, you can see that I've got a bunch of nice fields, right? So I can start filling this out if I want to, right? So if I was to have this on one side and I actually opened up another instance of this document, I want to show you guys something right now, which is really awesome, right? So if I was to type in over on this side, so look at Sunny, can you guys see how there's a real-time link between the pages, which is incredible? So imagine 2 teammates are literally going ahead and adding to the same thing. So if I typed in Sunny Sanga, you would see what the other teammate's doing, and you can actually see who's making that change. So in this case, it's both me. But if you want to create a slug, for example, you can see it automatically updates. It's a live feed, right? So this is really, really cool. So what we're going to now do is we're going to change the schema. So obviously I don't want authors and that kind of stuff, or post and category. So I'm going to modify this schema, and then we're going to write a TypeScript definition, which allows us to enforce this in our Next.js app. If you don't know what TypeScript is, it's basically strongly typed definitions introduced into the JavaScript world. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how we get all of this done. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Sanity. We're going to go over to schemas, and you're going to see a bunch of stuff over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and simplify a lot of this, and be prepared for a couple of errors to be screaming at you at this point, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and delete the block content. I don't actually want block content right now. That's what resembles that rich text editor over here. So the rich text, this is called block content. We don't actually want that right now. So I'm going to remove that. You may want that. I use it in the Medium clone. Feel free to check it out in that one, right? We also don't actually want the category, right? Don't actually want that one right now. So I'm going to get rid of that, right? So at this point, we're left with our author, and we're left with the post, okay? So I'm going to basically rebuild these two out, right? So I want one of them. So I'm going to change from author to creator, and I'm going to change my post to a collection, okay? So this is going to be basically our structure. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is kind of how I do it when I'm messing around with something, right? That way I don't have to rebuild it all. I can kind of reuse, I can get to learn it as I do it, and I can see what I need to basically do. Now for the creator, it's very similar to what we have, right? So if I go to my actual one that's deployed right now, so if I go to my actual Sanity Studio, the one that's live for the main app, what we can see here is I've got a collection, and actually I've got a creator, right? Now the creator has Sunny Sanger inside. It's got a name, an address field, a slug, an image, and a bio, right? So I'm going to show you how we can basically go ahead and get this written in our schema, and how we can get it reflected on our side, right? So here what I do is I change if I go to creator, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and change the following. So first thing up here, I'm going to change it to a creator. The title is what basically appears on the screen. So I'm going to change this to a capital C so it looks nicer. It is a document. Okay, so we're going to keep that the same. The name is okay. There's the display name. So that's what's basically going to be shown on the screen to the CMS editor. Then we've got type. The type is a string. So the data type here is a string. Okay. The next thing we have is I want to enter in an address, right? This is going to be your Ethereum address. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to say address. The display name is going to be address with a capital A, and this is also going to be a string. The final one is going to be a slug. So the next one is going to be a slug. A slug is essentially what is at the end of the URL. So the / whatever we have at the end. So if it's / author / Sunny Sanger, this is basically going to be the slug. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this here. The next thing we have is image. I'm going to keep that on for now. This is basically perfect. We've got an image that we can go ahead and upload to. Right? You can change it to profile picture if you want, but I'm going to keep it as image. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make life a little bit easier. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the bio. We're going to get rid of the preview section. I'm not going to cover what previews are today, but we will do it in another video. And what I want to finally do here, guys, is basically copy one more string, and I'm going to add it down over here and call this one bio. All right, so this one's going to be the bio, and it's also going to be of type string. Okay, so let me know if you're following along right now. Smash the thumbs up. Let me know if you're coding along right now, because I can see the focus faces around for everyone. All right, so I'm going to hit save. So this is the schema that you're going to want. Okay, this schema right here. Now that's the creator done. The collection is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so this is what's going to resemble the actual NFT drop. Okay, so let's have a look at one example here. We've got the Papa Fam Ape Coding Club. We've got a title. We've even got this nice little description, which I'm going to show you how to do. We've got a description over here. So this is actually a kind of aesthetic description. And then we've got name of NFT collection. We've got the address. We've got the slug. We've got the creator, which is linked. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We've got a main image and a preview image. So I'm going to show you how to do all of this now. So inside the collection, I'm going to change the name to collection. I'm going to change the title to collection with a capital C. So that way it looks nicer, right? Louise says, I'm coding along, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I want you guys to do this right. So take your time. This is awesome stuff. We've got the name, the title. I'm going to keep as title, but I want to have a description here, right? I want to add a kind of like a nice little UI to it. So the description here is actually resembles this description that you see here. So I'm going to say enter the title of the NFT drop. So here I say enter the title of the NFT drop. Nice, looks good. Okay. The next one is I'm actually going to have a description, which is going to be on the actual UI, right? So I'm going to keep this one as description with a string. Okay. The next bit I'm going to have is something called the NFT collection name. Okay, so here we're going to have NFT collection name, and then we've got name of the NFT collection is going to be what you see on the screen. And then we've got a string, okay? And then I'm gonna have the address. Now the address is gonna be what basically is your smart contract's Ethereum address, right? Or it could be a smart blockchain address. So I'm just gonna write address, and this is basically gonna be a string. Now in the actual practice, this is gonna be your address, which is connected to our third web smart contract deployment, okay? So this is looking really good. And then we're going to have the slug. The slug we're going to keep the same. That's going to be the URL. So remember yesterday we set it up in a way that it was like your website /NFT/ and then it didn't matter. It was a wildcard. We're going to make that wildcard connected to this collection slug. So basically, if you go to the /PapaFamApes, it will pull up this collection right here. Right, it will go ahead and pull this up right here. So we're going to make it all connected, right? It's going to be really cool. So we've done the slug. The next thing we're going to do is the creator. This is the cool part. So you know we created a separate schema over here. What we can actually do is we can use that as a type. So the way we do this is we change it to a creator. We change this to a creator over here, creator. And then we basically go ahead and say reference. Now here, rather than a type of author, all I need to do, guys, is I need to go ahead and just pass in creator. And that was the name that we gave to this schema. You remember here, creator? So that's basically how we go ahead and reference that. Amazing, right? Matthias says, you're amazing, man. Thanks for your videos. Appreciate you. Tiberio, Brazil, thanks to you so much for the support. And Universe Code. You guys are so positive. It's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Right? The next thing we have is the main image. That's actually perfect. I actually want to keep that as it is. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy the main image, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in something called the preview image. And this one is going to be used for when we want to basically preview NFTs and that kind of stuff, right? Now we don't actually need the rest of this. So categories I can get rid of. We don't need publish that, and I don't need body right now. So I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, the preview I'm going to get rid of as well. We're going to cover it in a separate video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So we've got our two schemas down, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just skim through so you can pause and see that if you want. But we've got the collection schema and the creator schema. This is basically our database layout. The final thing we have to do is basically connect these up together, right? So if we go to the schema.js file, this is where all the kind of connection happens, okay? So what I'm going to now do is basically clean this up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we no longer have the category and this. We actually changed our post or one of them over to a collection. So we're going to go ahead and change that to collection, and the author we actually changed over to a creator, right? So now we've got two import lines, import collection, import creator. And now you can see we're basically passing in all of the different schemas into this over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this in, and you can see we've got the post, author, category, block content. We've changed this up now, right? Now we have collection and creator. So it's going to be collection, comma, creator, right? Now, if you've done it all right, if we did this right in one go, I'd be bloody amazed, right? So if I go ahead and hit save now, if I go ahead and actually go back to my application, I go back to my localhost 3333 and I refresh. Okay, we may need to refresh everything. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and go there. There we go. Now, what we should see we should see the collection and the creator. So let's go ahead and test this out, guys. I'm going to go ahead, get a new creator, and you can see here we've got Elon Musk. Okay, the address. What is the address of Elon Musk, right? So in this case, I'll just give my address for my Ethereum. So in this case, bam, I've got my address. Let's just do me. I'll make it easier. Sunny Sanga. There we go. Right. Bio. The Papa Fam rules. Right. Slug. If I click generate, boom, it generates a unique slug based on my name. Okay, and an image. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and find an image quickly and upload it, right? So I'm not sure if I've got one here right now. I should have one over here in my photos. So I'm going to go ahead and boom, I've got a picture of me. There we go. If you've seen me for a while, you know that I've got, this is my fullback picture. Right, my hair was definitely not cut in COVID times. So I'm going to go ahead and you can see we've got this publish command, right? So this is basically unpublished at the moment. It's just on my local machine. If I want to push this up to the data set, the production data set, I click this button down here. You can see it's edited 15 seconds ago. I can review the changes. I can see what changes were made, and I can actually choose to revert. So amazing source control, amazing kind of, we can actually go really granular here and see what differences were made, and you can see who changed it. So really awesome for teams. I'm going to publish those changes. Okay, so this is looking really good, guys, right? So everything's going pretty smooth so far. What I'm now going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and pull open my collection. Okay, I'm going to pull open the collection and we're going to create a new collection. Now over here, this is where we're going to go ahead and basically have all the details like we have over here, right? Now we're going to need something for the address, right? We don't actually have an address right now. So we're going to basically go ahead and create our NFT drop in just a second. But for now, we can go ahead and use the following information. So in R1, we're going to give it a title, the Papa Fam Ape Coding Club. We're going to say, what did we give for description? I'm going to say the same description over here. So a collection of Papa Fam apes who live and breathe React, right? And name of the NFT collection, I just called it Papa Fam Apes. So in this case, boom, this is what's going to show up on the UI. For the address, we're going to leave it now, but I will put in an address value in just a sec. We're going to click generate. You can see the Papa Fam Ape Coding Club. Now that's actually quite long, right? I actually don't want it to be that long. So I'm going to make this one easier. I'm going to be, because I want it to be /NFT/ Papa Fam Apes, right? And the creator, I can go ahead and click this right here, click Sunny. Okay, now for the images, for the main image, we're going to go ahead and use the following one. We're going to use this, which is going to be basically the big image that you're going to see. And then we've got this nice little ape over here that we're going to use for the preview. So for the main image, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to put in. So for this one, I'm just going to hide for a second while I find that picture. If I find that picture, it's hidden away right now. So I'm wondering if I can get this and do it in one go. There we go, apes collage. There we go, boom, found the one picture. Let me find the second picture. And where is it gone? Let me find it. Yes, I found it. There we go. All right, so I found the two pictures. You guys can feel free. They're literally just a file uploader comes up. You guys can select your pictures. So awesome stuff. All right, boom, we've got these two pictures. Now I'm going to publish this, right? Obviously the address. Where the hell do I get my address from? So this is where I'm going to pause and basically jump into thirdweb. Okay, so I need this address, and this is going to represent the NFT drop inside of thirdweb. Okay, so if we go over to our thirdweb dashboard, we're going to basically need to create one of these. So what you need to do, go over to thirdweb, click login. That's going to prompt you to log in with your Ethereum wallet. Okay, so I've already done that. I've already logged in with my wallet, and here you can see disconnect wallet. So once you've connected your Ethereum wallet that we set up yesterday, all you need to do is go to your dashboard, and then I have got contracts here. It's just loading. So let's wait till our contracts load up. We should see it in just a second. All right, give it a second, be patient. So ignore these top ones. The ones you want to see is Papa Fam Apes. That's the NFT drop that you're seeing when I'm demoing the app, right? So what we're going to do is yours is going to be empty. I'm going to click on create new contract. Now here you can see we've got a bunch of nets to choose from, right? We've got Ethereum, Polygon, Phantom, and Avalanche. So what we can do here is these are main nets. If you ever want to do this for real and you want to charge real Ethereum value money, right? So basically you want to charge Ethereum, which has real value associated to it, or real Polygon that has value associated to it. You're going to use mainnet. Okay, but what I would recommend is you always, what I'd recommend is you always go ahead and click create new contract and do it on a test net first. Practice it, see that everything works, and then do a mainnet, okay? So in this case, we're going to do a Rinkeby Ethereum network. And the reason why is because we can actually fund it with fake Ethereum to test the transactions, and then we can go ahead and see that it all works. So I'm going to click on Rinkeby, and here you get the awesome selection of choices from thirdweb. So you can go ahead and create NFTs, you can do a drop, you can do set up a marketplace, governance and splits. We're going to go ahead and do an NFT drop. Okay, so this is what we're doing today. Now you can be damn sure that I'm going to be making more videos going through all of the different types, right? So if you guys want to see that, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I'm going to be doing that for you guys. I'm going to be covering all of these different things, especially the marketplace. Really, really cool feature. We're going to click release a drop, NFT drop, and edition drop. So you can see we want one of one NFTs in this situation. So I'm going to click NFT drop. Now over here, we basically give a name, okay? So in this case, you can give it whatever name you want, right? I'm going to call this one Papa Fam Apes. This is the official name of the collection. this is quite important because you're going to be seeing that name on OpenSea. So if I go over to OpenSea right now, I want to show you guys an example of what I mean by this. So if I'm logged into the Rinkeby network, by the way, if you can switch your networks up here, if you followed yesterday's steps correctly, you'll be able to see Rinkeby network here. When you go onto OpenSea.io, which is basically the aftermarket for NFTs, you want to click this testnet.opensea.io. So you'll make sure you're on the test OpenSea network, right? Now, when you're here, I want to show you guys something. So if I go over to my profile, we should see there's some Papa Fam apes. So the name I give to that option that we're in right now is what's going to come up on here, right? So we've got Papa Fam apes, right? So the symbol for this, let's just call it like PPF, for example, right? And then the description, a collection of awesome Papa Fam apes. Hey, image, let's give it an image. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give it just the main image. So let's just give it an image for now of this. This is the entire collection we're resembling, but right. So you could give it a collage or whatever you want. In fact, I'm going to give it a collage. So I'm going to make it a bit easier for us to see that that's actually the collection itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in this one right here. So that makes a little bit more sense. Right, so this is the NFT drop contract. Now, the recipient address. Whenever somebody buys the NFT, where should the funds go? We basically go ahead and we're going to put in our address because we're the creator in this case. So in this case, I'm putting in my address. And then you've got this awesome selection here, royalties, right? So here you can see we've got royalties. So in this case, when every single, when somebody buys or when they transfer or secondary sell, so imagine if somebody lists this for sale on OpenSea, if they make that sale, guys, you can actually say, I want 1% of every single transaction which is made. That's crazy, right? You can literally make a passive income from this stuff if you do it well. And you actually have utility behind your NFTs. Don't just sell crap, right? So in this case, if I go over to my dashboard, I'm going to just assume here, we're going to say 1% of every sort of transaction afterwards, I want in royalties, right? So deploy the contract. Now, it's not normal. It's not like the Web 2 way, you just click deploy and it's done. What we have to do now is actually create and deploy this smart contract. And as I mentioned, it goes to your wallet. So at this point, you want to go to your MetaMask. And what you will see here, guys, is we will actually have a beautiful little pop-up called a deploy proxy, right? This is the first thing you're going to want to do. You want to click on this and you want to basically go ahead and confirm. Here you see there's a gas fee. Gas fees essentially mean basically the price that we have to pay to actually add in our transaction to the blockchain, right? This is the Ethereum blockchain. Typically, it's associated with high gas fees until there's the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade. So if you want to do it for real, I recommend Polygon. It's very cheap to do so, and you can do it with thirdweb. But for now, we're testing, so we're using the Rinkeby network, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click confirm. And the next thing we're going to do is you can see it says pending. So everything in Web3, you know, it might take a bit of time. So it's fine. In this case, we're just going to be patient. You can speed up the transaction if you want to. You can basically submit and pay an extra gas fee. So in this case, it's fake money for the Rinkeby network. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Right now, in this case, if it did come up with an error for you saying, whoa, you don't have enough gas to, or you don't have enough fees to do this, I'm going to show you how to fund your account. Okay, so do not stress. If it says 0 Ethereum in your wallet, you don't need to worry. Okay, I'm going to show you how to fund it. So before, if you basically, I guarantee a lot of you are going to run into that. Okay, so what you now need to do, guys, is copy your address and go to something called a faucet, right? So I'm going to go ahead and find the one that I use. So you're going to go to Google, type in Rinkeby faucet, bit of a funky word. Right, so I'm going to show you the one that I like to use, and it's pretty much this one right here. Okay, so it's called, if you go onto Google, type in Rinkeby faucet, like so, what you're going to see is this request testnet link. Okay, now here you can connect your wallet to the website in the top right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my wallet with, in this case, this website's connected with my other one, so I'm going to switch to this one right here. So now I'm connected with my correct wallet. You can see the wallet is there. I'm going to basically say, send me 0.1 test ETH. I'm not a robot. Yep. And send me whatever the hell this is. All right. So you can untick that if you want. I just want the Ethereum. So click send request. Now what it's doing is it's sending me test Ethereum. Right. So Velo just says, it says insufficient balance. So yes, a lot of you are going to run into this. Follow these steps to fund your account. Okay. So that is again another transaction. So check this out. So right now we have 0.26. Did you see it just increased to 0.36? Right. So I've now funded in my account. Okay. So now we can actually go ahead and do that transaction. So if you did fail at the previous step, just repeat it now. And you can do this as many times as you want to fund your account, right? So you can literally, there's other websites where you can go ahead and give yourself one whole ETH and so forth, right? But this is just a good one to use. Faucets.chain.link. So I'm going to pop this on the screen right now. Awesome link, right? It's very handy to use when you're testing stuff. So with that said, we're going to go back to our dashboard, and you can see we've got the Papa Fam Apes collection. Now, the first thing you want to do is you see this beautiful address here. This is called your smart contract address. Typically, a smart contract, what it means is it's basically a piece of code that lives on the blockchain. So what I want you guys to do now is copy this. So click copy, and I want you to go to your CMS platform. So let's go over to our CMS. So it's this one right here. I'm going to paste that into the address over here. All right, now I'm going to click publish. Awesome stuff. Okay, looking really good, guys. We're doing amazing on time as well. So really, really awesome stuff, right? I click publish. So now I've got all my backend pretty much ready, right? So we just need to pull the information from here, and we should be able to do what we need to do. The next thing we're going to do is set up the thirdweb drop. Okay, so basically, what do I mean by that? Well, what we need now is we basically need to upload our first ever NFTs, right? And we need to create something called a claim phase. So I've saved you a lot of work. If you click create, you can basically add one by one NFT, right? And they also have things called metadata. So if we look at an example of an NFT, you can see here we have a monkey. And if I go to properties, you can see the eyes are chill. The fur is dark gray. The hat, they have no. And shirt, they have no shirt. Okay, so how do we do all of this? What is happening? Chris Cobb, $50. Thank you so much, dude. He goes, I'm fired up today, Sonny. Let's go, everyone. Let Sonny know that we got that big time energy today and appreciate the content. Don't just count your days, but make your days count. Every day is a new opportunity to build something great. Let's do this. Chris, boom, your energy is sick. That's literally got us back up on the energy vibe. Thank you so much for that donation, dude. $50 is incredible. Thank you, dude. Oh man, you got me hyped up. So this is literally where we're going to kick off. We're going to kick off with some energy. Thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, we've got these amazing properties. Now, it's kind of long to go ahead and do this one by one. Right over here. If I was to do this one by one, I'm just going to go ahead and do something quickly. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Check this out. Right, so don't worry, you can watch this afterwards on replay if it's too fast. We got the properties here. I don't want to add them one by one. I'm going to save you guys so much time. So what I've done for you guys is I've created all of the assets beforehand to save you all this effort, right? So what you can do is if you go to the homework submission link, you will see at the top, you says click here for NFT assets. So if I click into this link, right, what you're now going to see is a Google Drive. Right, and on this Google Drive, you're going to see a bunch of different folders, right? A bunch of different files. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what you should see. You'll see a Google Drive that pops up, right? This is my view. Yours will be slightly different, but it'll say download. So what you want to do now is go ahead and you can see you've got 20 different apes in here, right? Starting at 00 for the first one. We've got 01, 02, 03, 04. Now, what we're actually going to do here is we're going to leverage the example.csv file. So I want you to download this whole folder, which is free. I've given that to you guys. And then you want to click on batch upload. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I think it's frozen a little bit. I'm going to go and reload this page. You're going to click on batch upload, right? Now, you can go ahead and read this out, but I'm going to save you a lot of hassle here, right? What we've done is if you go and check out that Google Drive, right, you'll see that if I open up example.csv, boom, you should see this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just explain how this works. You can see the first one is associated with 00.png. Now, if I go ahead and put this side by side with the actual image, I'm going to go ahead and pop this one up, right? So you can see this ape is a gold ape. It has a sailor hat, red laser eyes, and a black t-shirt. Remember that. If I go over here, example.csv, the first ape, 0, but that's his name that we're going to give it. It's a Papa Fam ape. You can change the description if you want. The shirt is black, the fur is gold, the hat is sailor, and the eyes are laser. And you can go ahead and add more columns in for more attributes if you want to get more granular, okay? And basically we repeat this throughout. And that's how you do a bulk upload, but you have to have the naming convention on point. So these can be PNGs, it can be JPEGs, you can basically mess around with this. So at this point, I want you to download that. Then I want you to go ahead and click drag and drop files or folders here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to locate that folder, right? So I've actually got that folder in my computer over here. So boom, we've got it over here. So I've found my folder. I'm going to go ahead and select all. So I'm going to hold shift and select everything. So this now says example.csv and then all the PNGs. I'm going to click open. And what you should see here is a beautiful looking upload your NFT screen, and just give it a double check, right? So this ape has gold fur, yep, and it's got the sailor hat, the eyes are laser, black shirt, awesome. This one's a caveman, brown beanie, sleepy, awesome stuff. Looks right. Right, so I want you guys to customize it, do your thing, and this is basically how you can literally add in thousands of NFTs if you want, right? So at this point, we're going to click next. And then here you can see reveal upon mint or delayed reveal. Okay, so this is really cool. Remember, delayed reveal is that awesome feature where you can basically allow people to mint it, but it might show like a placeholder for a while, right? So it could have like your alien is hatching, right? And then when you say it needs to reveal, everyone's aliens get revealed, right? But what we're going to do today is basically just have the reveal upon mint. So you see here it says upload 21 NFTs. So I'm going to click upload 21 NFTs, and this again will be a transaction. So what this is actually going to do is it's going to upload the files to IPFS, which stands for the Interplanetary File System. This is the Web3 way of uploading images, kind of assets on the blockchain. So you should have a pop-up at this point from MetaMask, which is asking you to lazy mint, right? So this is going to cost a gas fee to push these NFTs up. We're going to click confirm. And what this will do now is it will mint, oh, but no, it's not minting, sorry. It's creating the NFTs onto this NFT drop collection, okay? So as you can see, they've now popped in. So if I refresh this page, right, we should see everything. There we go. We've got total supply. We've got unclaimed supply, sorry, of 21. This means that we have 21 NFTs in our project, which currently have no owner. They have not been claimed or minted, right? So basically we're going to set the minting phase tomorrow, but what we now need to do is basically add something called a claim phase. And this is really cool. So if you go add claim phase, you can say, when will this phase start? So I could start it right now. Okay, we could just say start right now. And basically, how much do you want to charge per like NFT, right? So here's where you can put the price. So I'm going to say this is going to be a cheap NFT. So it's going to be 0.01 Ethereum, right? And you can see you can charge any different currency here. We're going to charge Ethereum. How many NFTs will you drop in this phase? Unlimited. Basically, I'm going to drop all of the NFTs in the supply, but you could just basically do like the first 100 to a subset of whitelisted users if you want, right? And then here we're going to say anyone can mint, okay? Or you can do the whitelisting. So if you ever dived into NFTs, this is how they do it, okay? Then what we can do is, how many NFTs can be claimed per transaction, right? So what you could do is you could actually have an option. So somebody might want to buy 3 NFTs from your project. You can allow them to do that if you really want to, okay? You can go ahead, in this case, we're going to say unlimited, and you could have a timeout. If someone tried to spam it and that kind of thing, you could basically have a timeout. So if they try and buy, they have to wait like 100 seconds before the next time that they can purchase. Because imagine if you got loads of people, you don't want a whale coming along and just buying all the NFTs, right? So we're going to go ahead and click on update claim phases. Okay, so now we've got our claim phase in action. So this will allow us tomorrow to go ahead and create the minting part. So we're almost there, Papa Fam. Doing damn well. We need to authenticate this action on the blockchain, so that way it's out there, it's actually concreted on there. Notice how all of these things are happening inside of our wallet, guys. So remember, we have full ownership over this smart contract. Okay, that's what I love about thirdweb. Okay, so there you go. Success, saved claim phases. Okay, awesome stuff. Go to overview. Now we have everything done. So you see total supply is 21, unclaimed supply 21, and you can go ahead and actually look through a bunch of these. You've got the permissions over here, claim phases, embed. This is pretty cool. If you ever just want to have a no code kind of solution, you could just take your code here and embed it into your app, and you can basically start doing things like that. But I'm going to show you the actual way to code it, right? That's the more important way of doing it. And then you can go ahead and you've got these nice code snippets here, which will help you out if you do get stuck. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of this. But at this point, we can go ahead and jump back over to the Next.js app. We're now going to server-side render using Next.js, right? Next.js is going to allow us to server-side render and pull in the Sanity information, which will connect to thirdweb using its addresses, pull in our collections, right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's do this right now. So at this point, I'm going to go to my homepage, so index.tsx. And essentially what we do is when we have a typical React app, the whole app gets delivered when the user comes to the web page. With Next.js, we have each page gets delivered, right? So it's splitting up the pages. So every time we go to the home page, it's only sending me the home page. But what you can do with Next.js is you can say for the home page, I essentially want you to basically prepare that page every single time it's requested on a separate server with super fast internet and all this other stuff. And when the user requests it, just deliver the entire page, which is ready. So we call this a server-side render. Hence, it's rendered on the server, delivered at once. Really good for things like Google. So that way, when the Google web crawlers come to your website, they don't have to wait around for JavaScript to load and your internet might be slow. Instead, it's done all that hard work on a high-speed server. It's just sent the final page to your app, okay? So let's do this. The way we do it inside of Next.js is very simple. It's per page. So on the index page, so the home page, I want to do something called a server-side render, okay? The way we do this is we say export, and we're going to say const, and we're going to say get server-side props. And this is a special word we have to use, okay? Get server-side props. Now, typically what this is an arrow function, okay? So it's an arrow function which looks something like this, right? Now, typically you get something here called the context, right? This is an argument that we get and it's got a bunch of useful things inside of it. We're going to do something called destructuring and we're going to pull out something called the params, okay? In this case, I actually don't think I need the params. So we don't actually need this in the index, right? So we can actually leave this blank. Now we are using TypeScript, guys. So in this case, when you use TypeScript, you can actually state what a function is, what the props are for that function. So in this case, what I can do is I can put a colon and I can go ahead and type in get server side props. And you guys can see I get these nice little pop-ups. I want to use this one. And what this will do is it will go ahead and it will import get server side props from Next. So now you can see it's telling us, whoa, you're not doing this right. You haven't returned what you need to return. So it's saying you're not actually returning, you're returning like nothing, which is not okay with us. So TypeScript's good at catching out the bugs before you actually execute your code. Okay, so at this point, I need to make a query to my backend. Okay, so in this case, how the hell do I do that? So if we've got our backend over here, so our CMS platform over here, if I go to Vision, we can actually do something called grok querying over here, right? So if I click fetch now, you can see this is actually fetching over the all of the items from the collection type. And what I'm doing is I'm specifying the fields which I should be returning. Okay. So in this case, I'm saying ID, title, address, and so forth. This is just the syntax we have to get used to. Okay, so it's completely fine. Don't stress out. But what we're going to do is we're going to add on to this, right? So I've got a few additional things I actually want to put in here, right? So what I have here is I want to pull in the collection, but I've got the title, the address, the description, but we also have the NFT collection name. Okay, so after this, I have something called the NFT collection name. Okay, oops, let me go ahead and make this nicely indented. So we've got the NFT collection name. Now, if I click fetch, you should see that it will say NFT collection name as well. So NFT collection name, Papa Fam Apes. Okay, awesome stuff. Memo says, my first time in the live stream, awesome stuff. Welcome, dude. Right, and main image, you can see main image has this embedded asset inside of it. So we need to get that out. So if we look at main image, you can see it has an asset inside of it. And this is what we pass to that helper function that we set up earlier. Circle image, same thing, right? We actually have that one here. Actually, no, I'm not using a circle image, right? I'm using a preview image. It wasn't this one, it was preview image. Okay, and then we have the slug, and the slug.current basically represents what is in there at the moment. So that's how slug's laid out. And then we have creator. Now remember, creator was a separate, basically it was written as a separate a beauty and style by Papiti says, yeah, live stream is amazing, awesome stuff, thank you for tuning in, right? So the creator is essentially the other type that we created. Remember, we had a collection and we had a creator. What we're doing here is we're saying go into the creator with this syntax and get the following fields. Okay, so what I want is I want the ID, I want the name, I want the address, and I want the slug. Okay, this is really awesome stuff, guys. We're doing really, really well here. Click fetch. Now at this point, you should see this information, okay? And as you can see, it's pulled the creator that is linked to that collection as well. So if I had several different collections, right, it would pop in as an array here, okay? So this would literally work the same way. So if I go to my actual deployed one with 4, and I went ahead and used the same thing over here, and I click fetch, you will now see that I get the 4 results. Okay, so I'm just showing you on a different data set so you guys can see that it does work, right? So you get 4. Okay, so in this case, we've got the 1 over here. So check this out, right? So this is basically working really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this query. Okay, I'm going to go over here. So that's a good way of testing it, guys. I'm going to say const query, right? Const query, and I'm going to use backticks, right? So backticks, not normal quotes, backticks. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to hit paste. So now you can see I paste in my query. Okay, very important step. Okay, so I paste in the query, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that Sanity client. Now notice how this is an asynchronous function, right? So this is an asynchronous function. So where did the query info come from? This came from the input that we done over here, right? So remember this stuff over here? We're basically using their query language to go ahead and actually pull the information from. So all of this was populated earlier when we did that. Okay, so at this point we've got our query over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say const collections. So I'm trying to basically get this back in our code, right? So I'm going to say const collections equals await. So we're basically going to await for the information, and we're going to say sanity client, right? So sanity client, sanity client. And at this point, you see it says no suggestions. So it's not helping us out here. It should help us out. But what we need to do here, guys, is we're actually going to do an import, right? So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to import from the Sanity folder, which is a level up. So you can see it's actually a level up, and we've got the Sanity, where is it gone? Sanity.js folder. Okay, so I'm going to import it from there. So Sanity client. So we're going to say await Sanity client, and inside of here, I'm going to say dot, and you can see we get these set functions. So I'm going to say fetch query. Okay, set fetch query. Now there you go, we get it. So if what I can do to test this out is I can say console.log collections, right? Now what we need to do is basically, this will work, but right now it's complaining, saying you're not actually returning anything. So the way that we get this server-side rendered information over to the component, so that way we can show it on the screen, is we return it as Don't Sleep says, is Sunny reading comments? Yes, I am. Right? So what I can do here is I can say return, and I can basically go ahead and put in something called props. So simply, as we use props in our React as we normally would, we're basically going ahead and pushing it through this as the server-side rendered information. So I'm going to pass back the collections that we pull here as props. The way to test this all is I'm going to remove that. I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to say that typically we get props come through here. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to destructure the props and pull out the collections that I passed through. Okay, now you can see, whoa. It's saying this doesn't exist on type next page. So firstly, we need to get rid of this, right? Because we have our own props that we're going to define. And here you can see it's going to say implicitly has an any type. So TypeScript doesn't like when you don't give it the correct type definitions. Okay, so in this case, I need to basically specify what props are getting delivered here. Okay, so we're going to use a bit of TypeScript now. So what we can do here is I can say interface props. And basically this is a type. So you can either use a type here, right? So it could be type like so, or you can use interface, right? This is basically a TypeScript dive. So I'm not going to go too far into how TypeScript works. But basically what we're doing here is we're defining basically what the expected object here, what the shape of that object is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say collections is of type collection array. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, well, where the hell did this come from? Right, so now this is where TypeScript magic comes in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create something called a typings file. This is basically where I'm going to specify how the object should look. So at the sanity.js level, I'm going to create a file called typings.d.ts, and this is called a TypeScript definition file. Okay, now inside of here, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to create firstly an interface which resembles an image. Okay, so this is going to be used for when we actually use our sort of Sanity CMS stuff later on. So remember the image, it kind of pulled through like this. So I'm just going to sort of help us out now by doing that. Then I'm going to do the creator and the collection. So basically, remember the creator and the collection that I have over here. I'm basically specifying what each of these fields look like in code. Okay, so that way we can enforce it. So that way we reduce the number of errors that we experience. So in this case, I'm going to say export interface creator. And here I basically pass in those values. Remember the values that we were pulling in? So remember these? We had the ID, name, slug, and that kind of stuff. I basically enforce it over here, right? So there's a bunch of different types. We've got ID, name, address, slug, And you can see inside of a slug, we have another field called current. And you can see image is resembling this one over here. Okay, so we've done the creator. I'm going to do another one. We'll say export interface collection. And don't worry, guys, if this is a challenge, it's meant to be a challenge. It's supposed to be difficult. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and have the following fields here. Right, so we've got basically just specifying what the type that we should expect is. Okay, so you can see main image and preview images are both of type image. So we're saving ourselves a lot of writing by just having this. Okay, so with that bit done, now what we're going to do is go ahead and say, someone said, what song is this? It's called Con Man by Tyra Chanty. Amazing stuff. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my index.ts. And here I'm going to do control spacebar, and I can now import from my typings. So now what we've essentially done is we've told our React component that the prop to expect is a collections of type collection. And now if I was to go ahead and do collections dot, you can see it already knows it's an array. And it would actually know what each item inside that array is because we've gone ahead and prepared it in the correct way. All right, so what we want to do now is show these off on this front page. Okay, so right now our front page looks pretty damn boring, right? It looks pretty dead. On 3000 on one, my one is 3001, yours will be 3000. Ours just looks pretty dead. I think it just had welcome to the NFT drop challenge, right? Or you might have customized it. So what I want to do now, Sunny URL Sifu, I love that. Jay will know why I like that one. So we've got this over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the PopperFam NFT marketplace. Remember that header I used previously in the ID file? I'm going to go ahead and copy the header because I like the header. So this one here, the PopperFam NFT marketplace, I'm going to copy the header from that file and pop it in over there because I like that one. Okay. And then we should see the PopperFam NFT marketplace looking nice. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is underneath the H1, I'm going to go ahead and actually start doing this, right? I'm going to basically have a main block, and this is where all the content's going to be pulled through. So main, and here I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move fairly fast here. Do not stress. If it's too fast, you can always rewind. You can come back. It's okay. We're going to have a div inside here. And inside this div, I'm going to basically do a map. So I'm going to say collections. This is a bit annoying. I'm going to say collections.map. And for every single collection, I'm going to go ahead and let me actually deactivate my Copilot for a second. Let me deactivate. Right, there we go. Because it's kind of interrupting me coding right now when I'm teaching you guys. I'm going to say for every single collection, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to implicitly return. So notice I'm using parentheses here. Yeah? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to return something which is called a link component, right? But first, before we do that, I'm going to return a div. Okay, so a div. And this is going to resemble basically what we have over here. So if you see this here, I'm going to basically build this out for these individual cards. Okay, so on this div, I'm basically going to have a image and I'm going to have another div next to that image. Okay, so for the source here, I'm going to say it's going to be, I need to use that helper function. Remember the one we used earlier, the created. So the URL for. Okay, so the URL for, I'm going to go ahead and basically, am I pulled it in at the top? Yeah, I have. I pulled it in. So URL for, now I can basically access the collection's information. So you can see it already knows it's of type collection. So we're going to say URL for, I'm going to say collection.mainImage. Right, collection.mainImage. And notice how when I done dot, look at this, we get all our type definitions. Awesome. Right, so Sanity is a framework. Don't sleep. Yeah. Right, so that looks good so far. And then for the image, you can see source, it says image type. Oh, sorry. Then I have to do .url. And as you can see, guys, hey, we have our first image pulling in. This is good. I'm going to do class name. I'm going to give this a style. I'm going to say height of 96, width of 60, round the corners 2XL. And I'm going to do object cover. Okay, hit save and bam, we have a card. Looks nice. Inside the next div, I'm going to have a H2. And inside of this H2, I'm going to have the collection title. So collection.title. So I can go down to title. Bam. I have the PopperFam Ape Coding Club. This is sick. It's connected. You can see the genuine excitement when this works. Yeah. We've got the P tag underneath that. Here I'm going to say collection.description. Okay. And yes, you can split it into different components, guys. Feel free to, if you want to make your code cleaner. Remember, I'm live, so I'm trying to do it all in one go, right? But if you are going to do this in a production, feel free to split this up into separate components. Okay, very good suggestion. 3XL over here, and over on the P tag, I'm going to say, I like the fact that, you know, we get these suggestions. It's very good, guys. I'm going to have margin top of 2 to separate it from the top. Text to make it small. Oops, text to make it small. This song's a beat. This is sick. All right, text SM, and then we've got text gray 400. Okay, so look at this, looking pretty sick, right? Looking good, right? So at this point, what I'm gonna do is go to the div over here, and I'm gonna do class name, and here we're gonna go ahead and say flex. So it should go into a row. Remember, flex automatically goes into a row. What I want to now do though is basically say it should be a flex column, right? So flex column, looking good, flex column, there we go. And here I want to center all the elements. So I want to say items center, bam, goes into the center. Automatically, this is looking so clean already. Okay, now when I hover over it, I want it to be a cursor pointer. So cursor pointer, nice, we get a cursor pointer. You see that, guys? Right, so this is looking way better so far. And then we're gonna basically, I want this hover effect. So I want to have this hover effect. How do I get this? Well, in Tailwind, it's super easy, right? You basically say, I want to transition. I'm just going to apply the transition to everything. So transition all. Then you say duration 200 milliseconds. I'm going to say when I hover over it, I want to scale this scale by 105. Anyone who wants this playlist, by the way, sign up to day 5. We're sending it to everyone who registered. First link in the description. Make sure you've done it already. Hit save. And if I hover over it, bam, look at that. Looks sick. And look, you see, we've got it here, nice, good stuff. We're getting there, guys, we're getting there. Okay, now what I want to do is imagine when we have several different collections, right? So if you have several different collections, I want to basically, right now it's just centering everything. What I want to do is have a grid layout. So this is a part of a challenge for you guys, right? I want you guys to add several more collections, sort of test it out, and then I want you to go ahead and apply the following styles that I'm going to apply now. And if you get it right, boom, that's a part of a challenge for you guys, okay? I'm going to give you the code, but I want you guys to test it and do it yourself, okay? So what I'm going to do is in the outer div, which holds everything together, I'm going to apply some grid styling. I'm going to say it's a grid. Okay, this grid is going to have space between the X components. So space between the X components, and it's going to be 3, right? So everything will be spaced out by 3. On the medium screen, I want it to be a grid with columns 2, right? As we get bigger, I want to go to columns 3. So grid columns 3. And then on the 2XL screen, so the really big screen, I want to go ahead and say grid columns 4. Okay, now what did I just do there? All right, so basically what I've done there is you see how it's gone to the left hand side, right? This is basically doing this right now. So it's basically saying on the 2XL screens it goes into a 4, on the XL screen, on the large screen it goes into a 3, on the medium screen it goes into a 2, and on the small screen it's a 1. Okay, really cool. I love that. Someone goes, I'm waiting in the car, waiting for my wife. That's so sick. All right, so you guys can see us out, right? Awesome stuff. So then what we're going to do is I need to basically go ahead and I'm going to give it a, let's see what I did here. All right, I'll give it a max width. Yeah, we go. Okay, nice. All right, so for the main component, I'm going to go ahead and say class name. And I'm going to give this a background slate. I like this color, 100. Padding of, let's give it 10. And let's hit save. And you can see already looking pretty nice. I want to give it a shadow XL. Ooh, starting to look snappy. And I'm going to give it a shadow. I'm going to color the shadow. So if you don't know, in Tailwind CSS version 3, they gave colored shadows, which was sick, right? You can say rose 400. So that's kind of intense, right? So if you want to reduce the opacity, you do / I want 20% of that. Ah, that looks nice, right? Very clean, right? So there you go. And but right now it's not got a max width applied. It doesn't look as clean as it should. So I'm going to go to the outer div. All right. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a minimum, max width of 7XL. Right. So now you can see if it max width here, then I want to center it. Okay, I want to center it. So what I do is I say MX auto. So margins on the x-axis should automatically be determined. So we get this effect. Awesome stuff. Then I want to go ahead and do, it's a flex box, it's flex column. Okay, looking nice. And I want to say the minimum height should be the screen. okay? Now what I want to finally do is give it some padding. So padding on the y-axis of 20, padding on the x-axis of 10, and on the extra large screen, so 2XL and above, I want to go ahead and reduce the padding to a 0 because you get that max width restraint. All right, so now you can see on the small screen, looks nice, and then we get rid of the padding when we get to the bigger screen. All right, that looks really clean, okay? So everything here is looking quite nice, guys. The final sort of finishing touch that we really want to do is where we have the Papa Fam sort of, the H1 being styled here. I want this one just to simply be a margin bottom, right, of 10. Text should be a little bit bigger, so 4XL, and the font should be extra light. We're going to keep it extra light. Cool. Looks a bit bigger. That looks clean. And if you add more, more of the things to it, what's it called? I need to add a little bit of spacing there as well. Yeah, that was it. I forgot to do that. Right, so this div where we've got the text, go to the class name, give it a padding of 5, so that way it has a nice bit of spacing to breathe. Look at all the differences that made, guys. Right, so boom, check this out. Looks really clean, right? Add several collections and get to the point where you can go ahead and show me that. Right, that's basically a challenge for you guys, okay? So now when I click it, I want to go to /NFT /the slug. Right, so what do? We use something called the link component inside of Next.js, right? So rather than using hrefs, we use a link. So where we have the collections.map, here surrounding our entire div, what I'm going to do is introduce the Next.js link component. So you can see it auto imports from next link, as you can see up here, next link, right? And what we do is we say, give it a href, okay? And the href here, I'm going to use backticks. I'm going to say for string interpolation, /, this should go to NFT / I'm going to use the collection .slug.current, okay? That will give me the current slug. And then I'm going to close it off, right? And you see how it gives me a closing one automatically. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to paste it at the end over here. Hit save. Now, what we have done, Papa Fam, is we've literally gone ahead and made it so that when I click this, it will go to /NFT / my screen. So click this, bow. That's sick. The only thing is that this is loading static information. So I need to server-side render this to make sure it's pulling in the correct information. Okay. And then that way we can test it out so I'm not chatting crap, right? So that's working, right? So we've automatically got our routing done. So we're going to move fast to get this final bit done. Right? We're going to literally be done very soon now, right? So the next thing you want to do is go over to your ID, right? And we're going to do the same server-side rendering over on this side. Okay, so for server-side rendering over here, what we now want to do is we want to go ahead and do a similar approach, right? So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this. We're going to say export const get server-side props, and basically what I want to do is I want to use the / parameter here, so that wildcard, remember. Oh, nice, thank you, Mr. X-Rage, you just donated 20 amazing stuff. Thank you, dude. So we want to use this wildcard, which we actually have in our code as ID. Remember this ID wildcard? We want to use that to basically determine what collection I'm fetching, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say get server-side props. So I'm going to pull it in like so. I'm going to say equals async, like so. And here, remember we get the context, right? Well, rather than doing the context like so, I'm actually going to basically go ahead and destructure this and get the params. Now I need to go ahead and import this in, so I can go ahead and say next, like so, and that's pulled in our get server-side props. It's complaining because I'm not returning anything yet, so that's fine. What I want you guys to do is basically go ahead and do the following, right? So we need a special kind of query. We need a similar query to what we had before, but I need to use the ID that is basically in the URL to go ahead and actually, give us the value, right? So what we can do here is I want that to be a part of the query. So the first thing I want you to do is take a look at this query. Okay, take a look at this query. This is basically a similar query to what we had before. But we have get the type where it's collection and where slug.current, so slug.current is equal to ID. Now ID here, how do we get from the URL to this ID? And why are we getting the first argument, right? So the first argument is because it will return an array of results. We only want the first one. The second thing is slug.current and this ID. What we have to do is when we make the fetch call, right? So when I actually go to make the fetch call, so if I say const collection equals await sanity client, and that all imported it from the top. When we do this, right, I then basically say fetch, and similar to what I did before, guys, so the query, I passed the query in. The second argument here is an object where you see where we pass in the $ID. That's the key. And what we can do is we can actually assign that a value. So if I give it 123, this value will become where current equals 123. Okay, but what I'm doing instead is inside of params, I can actually get what the URL is. So I can actually get what this value was. So in this case, PapaFam apes. So what I do here is I say params, and we're going to conditionally protect ourselves in case it was undefined for whatever reason. It's not going to freak out, right? So params ID, and that will basically now, this is a dynamic query. So basically, depending on what the URL is, it's literally going to go ahead and do this. So absolutely powerful, powerful stuff, right? So if I go to, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if there was no collection that got returned from it, yeah, we can return something really cool in Next.js. We can return an object which says not found true. And what this does is it returns a 404 page if there was no collection which resembled that NFT, right? So, you know, so if some people try and come in your app and they try and break it, you can prevent that, right? The next thing I want to do is return the props. And then inside the props, similar to what we did before, I'm going to return the collection. Okay, so let's test this out quickly. If I go over here and I type in, let's just type in aliens, right? We should get a 404 now. Oh, it says 404, this page could not be found because we don't have that inside of our collection, right? So inside of here, we don't have aliens. Doesn't make sense, right? Instead, all we have is a collection where one of the slugs is PapaFam apes. So let's try PapaFam apes. If this works, make some noise and destroy that bloody thumbs up button, right? PapaFam -apes. Wait for it. It's loading a page. Bow! Done it, right? But this is still static information, but it found a page. Right now, the best part is all we have to do now is make it so that rather than using this static information, it uses the collection that we pass in, right? So remember, the props come in at the top. Okay, props are coming in at the top. So here's where the props come in. We're going to use ES6 destructuring. I pass in the collection like so. And remember, this is where we define the props. Okay, so over here, I'm going to make an interface where we say props, and I'm basically going to say that the prop that we expect is of type collection. Notice how I'm using a single this time, not an array. And I'm going to import that from typings, right? So now you can see this looks kind of cool, right? We've got the collection coming in. Now what I basically do, guys, is I just go in and I basically replace everything where we had it hard coded, and I go ahead and just change that stuff up to basically be the value that I want it to be dynamically. Right, and I'm going to prove to you that it works by changing the images and stuff on Sanity CMS. Okay, so what I can do is I can go over to the image. So firstly, the PapaFam Ape Coding Club. Okay, so let's see where that is. Right, so PapaFam this is going to be the collection.title. Okay, then we have the supply over here, right? So we're going to actually change this tomorrow when we do the minting. I'm going to teach you guys how to go ahead and do that. Right, and then we have the minting price and that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you how we can do all of that tomorrow as well, right? But what I'm going to do is the picture is the one that I'm bothered about right now, the image, right? Right now we just use this hard image. I'm going to go ahead and change this to actually it's going to be our special function here. So we're going to actually use for my image here. It's going to be the URL4. So URL4. Remember our handy helper function. And here I'm going to pass in the collection.mainimage.url. Okay, looks really nice. And that's a function, so we have to return that. There we go. Already looking pretty nice, guys. That's the main image. And then we've got, if I go up to my left side, we should have this image. I'm going to change this to the preview as well. Okay, so this one's going to be URL4. And here I'm going to say collection.preview image. And this is going to be .url like so. Boom. Okay, awesome stuff. Now, if I go over here and I hit refresh, let's just see. I think I've forgotten one thing. I think I've forgotten my description and collection name. So here I have, there we go. Here I have the collection.NFT collection name. And here I have the collection.description. Awesome stuff, guys. All right, it's looking really, really good so far. Now let's check this out. I want to prove to you that I'm not lying, right? So if I hit refresh now, this information is still getting fed through, right? Everything that we expected to see is still here, but now it's being fed through from our OpenSea, right? So I'm going to show you guys and prove this. It's not this one, it was this one. Right, so I'm going to show you the living proof of this. So if I go ahead and say NFT drop is getting pulled in from here, right? NFT drop 123, and I hit publish. Now you can see that a non-developer can come in here and can go ahead and refresh, and you'll see NFT drop 123. Boom! Look at that. We have literally an awesome CMS platform, which is so easy to use, right? You can change the slug. You can change the URL to find yourself out. You can change the images. So if I want to change this preview image to a different ape, let's go ahead and change it to a different ape right now. I'm going to go ahead and find a different picture here so you guys can see that I'm not lying when I do this. I'm going to go ahead and find an ape right now. So let's go ahead and change it to this ape, right? So I'm going to change it to a different ape. I'm uploading the picture now. Let's see this. I'm going to change it to this smart looking ape. Publish. Now wait for it. Document was published. Refresh the page. Next person who comes on, server-side render kicks in. Bow! We get the new image. So you can see that literally it's pulling in the information, the address we're going to use tomorrow when we do the minting part. But now it's literally connecting and it's working in the way that we want it to. Right? The only thing I want to do now before we finish off for this section today is I want to make it so when you click this button over here, you go back to the home screen. Right, so that's very easy, especially from what we've been doing. Right, so what we do here is we simply go to our header component, and all we need to do, guys, here is wrap the H1 with a link component from Next.js, which we import. Remember, you import it from the top, and then we basically go ahead and we chuck in. Let's go ahead and take this and wrap it around the H1. Hit save, change this to an href, and here we put in / for the home page. Okay, so this will be for the home page. It's going to basically represent let's have a look, make sure I've got it all included. Ouch. Right, so let's just see header. There we go, link / yep, there we go. Hit save. Now if I click this, I go back to my home page. Awesome stuff. So now I've got two-way routing. Check this out. Bow, bow, bow. Look at that, clean. Not only did we just create our first ever NFT drop collection, which is literally real on the blockchain, which we authenticated, we did it all through, we actually made the transaction happen with MetaMask. We went ahead, uploaded all the images, uploaded the metadata. We connected our Sanity CMS backend to our application over here. Looks really great, right? Everything works the way we need it to. And yeah, that's literally absolutely incredible stuff. I'm going to show you two more things, right? So we're going to now deploy. You're going to get the URL. You're going to put that in your homework, right? The next thing I want you to do is also experience that you can also deploy your Sanity backend. So that way you can actually access it from elsewhere. So in this case, you see how I've got my Sanity backend over here. Where is it gone? Right, so where we've got our Sanity backend here, which is on localhost, what I can actually do, guys, is deploy this thing so it's actually up on the internet. Right, so what I can do is I can basically cut it from my localhost. So now you can see I won't be running on localhost. If I run it on if I go to my localhost 33333, you'll see that nothing's running anymore. So my Sanity Studio is dead here, right? So instead what I'm gonna do is Sanity deploy. Now what this does is it literally will deploy a version of my Sanity. So in this case, you can do studio host name. Let me give it a name. I can just say something like NFT challenge test, enter, and it will basically deploy it to this URL. And remember, you're gonna have to log in when you go to that URL. So it doesn't just work with anyone, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. And this will go ahead and build it, deploy it, and literally you can access that CMS from anywhere now. And the best and most incredible part really is if you've got one running on your local host and you've got one deployed and you start changing information, guys, the live feature still works, which is like, the guys are sick, right? They made it work. It's really, really cool, right? You can tell I'm geeking out right now because I like good tech, right? So you can see it got deployed to this URL. So if I go over to this URL now, and you can see it says connecting, logging in, and now you can see I have literally access to my backend that's over here on the internet. So this is a real living, breathing URL, which is literally got access. Not anyone can access it because you have to be logged into my Google account. So you can see that's incredibly powerful, guys. right? So in order to re-trigger a deployment so you guys can submit your homework, head over to Versal, make sure you've got everything set up, okay? There's gonna be 3 changes that you're gonna need to do before we commit and deploy our code. Go to your deployment yesterday, and I want you to go into the settings, okay? Go into the environment variables, and you're gonna need to add 3 environment variables. All right, you can keep these ticked. Basically, what you want to do is your first environment variable is going to be this one. It's going to be next_public sanity dataset, and the key, the value, sorry, it's going to be production. Hit add. Okay. The second one is going to be next public sanity project ID, and this is going to be the project ID that you used in your project. So I'm going to find my one, which I had in my thing over here. So I'm going to hide my screen for a second, get my project ID. Okay, awesome stuff. So I'm going to paste this in like so. So I got my project ID, and the final one was the Sanity API token. Right, so these are literally all the things which were in my environment variable file. This, remember, that's local. So you want to also put it up to your pipeline where you're deploying. So the value of the Sanity API token, I'm going to hide my screen, and I'm going to get that from my environment file right now. Otherwise, everyone's just going to spam it, right? So boom, get rid of that. Hit save, go over there. This is why it's secret, right? So I'm going to add it to that field and hit add. Okay, nice. There you go. So then what I do is I go over to deployments, and this is pretty much ready now. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my code, and all I need to do to trigger a redeployment is, you see I've got 31 changes to my files. Okay, so what I can now do is basically go ahead and if I do cd ... I go up a level. So I can go back up to my, my main folder. I'm just going to go ahead and type in git status. You can see I've got loads of files that need to be added and committed to my GitHub repo. I'm going to say give it git add all. And if you do git status again, you can see they're all green now. Git commit -m. You can do it this way, or you can do it over here. It's really up to you. All right, we're basically pushing our code to GitHub now, which will automatically trigger a redeployment. I'm going to say day 3 finished. Enter. Git push, bam, and we've gone ahead and we've committed and we've just pushed. Now what should happen, right, is we're pushing this to a GitHub repo, which is connected to Versal. Because it's connected to Versal, what this will now do is it will trigger a redeployment. Okay, so day 2 is finished, was here, but look, upcoming, day 3 finished. It found it, it's building it, let's click it. Let's see if this actually does it. Hey, check this out. Wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it. All right. Now, while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and show you the homework link. Right. So for the homework link over here, you can see the NFT assets are in the top over here. If anyone struggles with that, make sure you join the Facebook Discord group. Do your thing, help each other out. And then what you're going to do is full name, email address, deployed site link, as we did yesterday with a fully complete, partial complete if you got stuck or if you did not. All right. So this will go ahead and deploy. Reasons why you might get stuck. You might have not added the environment variables right. You might have not given the correct project ID. You might have not funded your Ethereum wallet with fake sort of Ethereum from a faucet. These are the kind of things I want everyone to help each other out with in the Facebook group, in the Discord group. Remember, you get extra points. It's what teamwork is about. You guys can see it's gone ahead and deployed successfully. We can click visit the app. So now let's go and head over to our application. Boom, this is live right now, guys. This is live right now. I'm going to show you guys and send this in the chat. Check this out. That's literally live right now. And this is pulling from our backend as well. This is literally what we saw before. You guys can even check it out if you don't believe me. Absolutely incredible stuff. That is day 2 finished. Day 3, sorry. That is day 3 finished. Get my words mixed up. That's day 3 finished, guys. So day 4 tomorrow is where we implement the minting functionality, where we can actually go ahead and claim one of these NFTs or mint. So that way these this supply starts getting claimed and you can actually reduce. So right now you can see none of them are owned by anyone. There's 0.00000. Eventually these will be wallets where we actually get owned by them, right? So absolutely incredible session. Amazing stuff. That was an awesome pace, right? I guarantee you're going to be watching it back. You're going to be hustling. You're going to be learning this stuff. But I hope to God you learned a lot in this session. We covered Sanity CMS. We covered the ability to go ahead and connect a Sanity CMS, a backend like this, to Next.js application. We covered the Grok query language, how you can go ahead and query the data, server-side render it in, so that way it's SEO efficient and performant. So you guys can see we've got a lovely server-side rendering over here working in place. We learned about type definitions, how you can enforce your type definitions, so you have essentially got a strongly typed language app, right? So that's what TypeScript's about. It reduces the number of bugs in your app. Just insane stuff, guys. Really, really insane stuff. I cannot actually wait to see what you guys come up with tomorrow. So to get the homework done, submit it. It's going to be a nice challenge for you all, right? And tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to do the minting. Right, teach you how to do the minting part. That's the really juicy bit, right? That's the final bit. I promise you it's going to be worth it. And remember, guys, please, 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 please sign up to the grand finale, because that's how I know who to send the free ebooks to, the most value. And I'm going to be doing something I've never done before. So you want to be there to see that, right? I'm going to have a one-time thing. You guys, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. It's going to be a party, okay? On that note, guys, I'm going to end this the Papa Fam way. I'm going to go ahead and drop our beat. Make sure you go ahead and submit the homework, and yeah, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, right? Literally, go ahead, learn how to use Sanity CMS, learn how to leverage the third web, build your first NFT drop, guys. Dark Unscripted says, does everyone get the book? If you've signed up to the grand finale and you turn up, then yes. I can't just give it out to everyone. You have to show up. You have to show up, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys finally today what we did, pulling from CMS. Amazing stuff, guys. Really, really amazing stuff. And remember, if you use sanity.io, use sanity.io/Sunny. And when you do the init, coupon Sunny 2022. Someone asked, what is this song? It's called I Want to Be With You by Loving Caliber. It's our Papa Fam anthem, right? Sunny init, coupon Sunny 22. Make sure you use it. Make sure you use all the links in the description when you're signing up to Third Web, Sanity, all that good stuff. Papa Fam, it's been sick. It's been sick. This has been day 3. I will see you for day 4 of the NFT Drop Challenge. It's your boy Papa React. Peace.